Now, one of the benefits about the new Action Fund is that it will help graduate students pay for travel expenses, such as if they're attending a conference or if they're doing things like a thesis project and need to go out of town to do more research. While the Relay for Life mainly is about walking around the track, they do have other events going on. From the Arkansas State University Relay for Life event, this is Mike Hollifield, ASU TV News. Now, when you're driving, remember that you have blind spots. You have not only the blind spots created by the pillars, but you also have blind spots that are created in the side view mirrors. That's why they say look twice, save a life. Mike Hollifield, ASU TV News. The Graduate Student Council was created in 2005 to serve the graduate students here at ASU.
It was created because the graduate students felt like we needed an organization that would really support our views and really push for the issues that concern graduate students. And so the Graduate Student Council was created. Since its inception, it's actually been very effective in being a liaison between graduate students and the administration here at Arkansas State University. For example, in its earlier years, it pushed for administration to allow doctoral graduate students a tuition waiver, and so that's something that the Graduate Student Council was responsible for initiating.
One of the functions of the Graduate Student Council is to help graduate students have direct access to the administration.
Primarily right now, we're trying to get the Graduate Student Council recognized as the official voice of graduate students.
Even though graduate students are still part of the student body, most graduate students have different concerns and needs that need to be met.
One thing the Graduate Student Council does is we have an action fund where graduate students can apply to receive financial assistance.
Now, one of the benefits about the new Action Fund is that it will help graduate students pay for travel expenses, such as if they're attending a conference or if they're doing things like a thesis project and need to go out of town to do more research.
We accept those applications monthly. We award up to $300, so it's really based on needs. If your travel is before June 30th, then we will consider your application this semester. If you're traveling in July or later, you can turn in your application, but that application won't be submitted until the fall once we receive our budget for the next academic year.
The Graduate Student Council has an office that is open Monday through Thursday and located on the first floor of the library. In their office, you can find out about the programs offered to help graduate students. Mike Hollifield, ASU TV News. Motorcycling has seen new growth in the last few years, and it's even more important to pay attention to the road. With the rising gas prices over the last few years, people are looking for cheaper alternatives to get around. As more and more drivers take the road on two wheels, drivers need to remember a few key points.
A very important component of safe driving, whether you're talking about a car or a motorcycle, is the ability to perceive what's going on around you. The mind and the eyes work a little bit differently than what most people think. The mind tells the eyes what the mind wants to see, rather than the eyes feeding the brain everything that they're viewing. So if you're not specifically watching out for particular objects, you don't see them.
You know, I think that the whole world's become preoccupied, whether it be from texting and driving or just, thinking, what am I going to do now? It's such a fast-paced world that people don't stop and think. There's a lot of vehicle accidents, car on car, and there's a lot of vehicle accidents with car on motorcycle.
Currently, the #1 cause for motorcycle fatalities nationwide is other vehicles entering a motorcycle's path of travel.
An aggressive public awareness plan has been going on for several years now, and you may have seen the look twice, save a life signs around town.
In northeast Arkansas, we've got about almost 400 look twice, save a life street signs up.
Our biggest areas of danger are intersections. Any place where another vehicle can enter our path of travel is where a motorcyclist must be at most on their toes.
Now, when you're driving, remember that you have blind spots. You have not only the blind spots created by the pillars, but you also have blind spots that are created in the side view mirrors. That's why they say look twice, save a life. Mike Hollifield, ASU TV News. For the last couple of years, Jonesboro has slowly expanded to the north, while Paragould is growing south. With 2 area hospital expansions and increased Highway 49 traffic, Brookland is receiving the benefits of this growth.
I think Jonesboro and Paragould are both encroaching upon Brookland. Paragould is building a new medical center very close to the county line in conjunction with St. Bernard's. And then NEA Hospital is building very close to us as well.
This also means Brookland School District is expanding. The school district has been expanding every year for the last 5 years, and new growth means new programs and buildings.
We have grown by around 100 kids a year. It's usually somewhere between 7 and 9%.
Academically, the school has seen many changes as well, because parents are concerned with the quality of the education their children receive.
You know, we had No Child Left Behind for several years. We will now be doing what's called Common Core. Common Core, for me, the way I describe it is, I think it's getting back to the basics, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Instead of covering the curriculum, they now want us to teach an inch wide and a mile deep.
The school district has been able to add extracurricular activities over the past few years, but plans on adding more next year.
Some of the things we'll be offering next year will be that we haven't offered in the past will be tennis, boys and girls tennis, boys and girls soccer, and a dance team.
The addition of football meant the addition of a new field house, among the other new building projects at Brookland High School. From Brookland, Mike Hollifield, ASU TV News.